Okay, well, you're here watching this video to learn about rhetorical strategy, specifically diction, or in layman's terms, the absolute and extreme languages. To be completely honest, I think this may be our favorite, when we're always like, oh my god, I'm so tired, yet again we keep on getting like 8 hours of sleep each night. But all jokes aside, by the end of this video, you're gonna be a pro at learning how to use diction. Well, the use of diction is actually very broad, and it can fall under many categories, so let me at least teach you 5 of them. So our first word is going to be wit. In day-to-day use, it's more of an amusing type of language that tends to surprise and delight. A witty statement tends to be humorous, yet again suggesting that the speaker's verbal power. Quote by Doris M. Smith: "Arguing with a fool proves that there are two." This quote is a suggestion that it is witty for the sole purpose that it uses an idea of not needing to argue with somebody that doesn't have the time to understand the argument, henceforth creating two fools. Now onto our second word, colloquial. Colloquialism refers to words or expressions used in ordinary day-to-day casual language. More or less, a conversation with slang terms are being used and there is little to no attempt at being formal. Quote by Carl Sandburg: "Slang is a language that rolls up its sleeves, spits on its hand, and goes to work." This quote is pretty much self-explanatory within itself because colloquial isn't the best type of formal language that you would use in writing, let alone a speech. Instead, something that you would use in a day-to-day conversation talking with another person, most likely a friend of yours. To continue on to our third word, we have invective. Being invective is an emotionally violent verbal denunciation or attack by using strong and/or abusive language. Quote by John Trindall: "Being invective may be a sharp weapon, but overuse blunts its edge." By describing the use of invective language as a sharp weapon, it can be taken as being the type of vocabulary that can hurt others, but as also stated, it shouldn't be used a lot because it may dull the effect. Now onto our fourth word, pedantic. Pedanticity is when somebody is too concerned with the literal accuracy or formality. This is usually used in a negative light to describe somebody as showing off knowledge. Quote by C.S. Lewis: "Someday you'll be old enough to start reading fairy tales again." In the example, there's an unnecessary amount of knowledge that is being shown from Lewis. It is a smart remark and fixating on the small and unimportant mistakes that the character felt like they need to say. Last but not least, we're at our final word, ambiguity. Ambiguity can be told in the way of being too broad or even inexact. In the prime example of "go that way" without the specification of a certain direction of left or right. A quote from a song by Led Zeppelin: "There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure because sometimes words have two meanings." This quote is a splendid example of ambiguity because it doesn't just give an example of it, but it also defines it within the quote of itself, saying that words may have two meanings and being unsure of which meaning it is. And now we're arriving towards the end of this video. Kinda sad, I know, right? But to get to the very end, I hope you understand all that I've taught today and, use some examples later on in your life. And you probably haven't noticed, but a lot of these have already been in your life. But to finish off this video, I hope you enjoyed and learned something new about the use of absolute and extreme languages. And to everyone else that's doing a project on more rhetorical strategies, I wish you good luck.